Assalamu alaikum, fam. Hope you're doing well. We're continuing our reading of Tirmidhi, and we are in volume 1, chapters on purification. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Go ahead and listen to this as you cook, you're jogging, you're watering your garden, whatever it is you're doing. Chapter 103. What has been related about the atonement for that? Ibn Abbas narrated that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said about a man who had sexual intercourse with his wife while she is menstruating, he should give half a dinar in charity. Daif. Ibn Abbas narrated that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, when the blood is red, then give a dinar, and when the blood is yellow, then half a dinar. Because when it's yellow, it's not fully closed, the cervix. So, menses, and then I like that. It's so pure and clean. Abu Isa said, the hadith about the expiation for entering into the menstruating woman has been narrated from Ibn Abbas, both as his own statement as well as a statement from the Prophet, peace be upon him. And this is the saying of some of the people of knowledge, and it is the view of Ahmad and Ishaq. Ibn al-Mubarak said, that's my favorite name, he must seek forgiveness from his Lord, but there is no atonement due from him. So you have two different examples here. Something similar to the statement of Ibn al-Mubarak has been reported from some of the Tabi'in, among them Sa'id bin Jubair and Ibrahim an-Nakhai, and it is the view of the scholars of the lands in general. Comments. In the view of the majority of the scholars, giving charity as a way of expiation is desirable, not necessary. Okay, so desirable, not necessary. So charity. Chapter 104. What has been related about washing from menstrual blood from the garment? Asma bint Abu Bakr narrated that a woman asked the Prophet, peace be upon him, about a garment that was touched by some menstrual blood. So Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, remove it and scrub it, then rinse it and pray in it. Sahih. He said, there are narrations on this topic from Abu Hurairah and Qais bint Mihsan. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Asma about washing the blood is a Hasan Sahih hadith. The people of knowledge have differed over the case of blood getting on the garment when one prays in it before washing it. Some of the people of knowledge among the Tabi'in said that when the blood is the size of a dirham and one does not wash it, then prays in it, then they are to repeat the prayer. Some of them said that when the blood is more than the size of a dirham, the prayer is repeated. This is the saying of Sufyan al-Thawri and Ibn al-Mubarak. Some of the people of knowledge among the Tabi'in and others did not consider it required to repeat the prayer, even if it was larger than the size of a dirham. This is the saying of Ahmad and Ishaq. Ash-Shafi said that it is obligatory to wash it, even if it is less than a dirham, and he was firm in that. Okay, so you see the dirham size. I think, either way, try to do your best and stay clean. If the blood is little, then washing it is not necessary, but if the blood is more, then a washing is necessary. Chapter 105. What has been related about the extent of the waiting during nifas? It says nifas here is bleeding after childbirth. Okay, so Nifas. Salama narrated the time of waiting for nifas during the time of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, was 40 days. We used to cover our faces with a reddish-brown wars. It says wars here is normally used to refer to a plant that is used to produce a yellowish dye. It is occasionally used to refer to dyeing in general. Oh, that's interesting. So we used to cover our faces with so it's like a cloth? So it's like, Abu Isa said, this hadith is gharib. We do not know of it except as a narration of Abu Sahal from Musa al-Azdiyah from Salama. Abu Sahal's name is Kathir bin Ziyad. Muhammad bin Ismail said, Ali bin Abdul Allah, one of the narrators, is trustworthy, and Abu Sahal is trustworthy. Muhammad did not know this hadith to be from other than the narration of Abu Sal. The people of knowledge among the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, the Tabi'in, and those after them, agree that the woman experiencing nifas leaves the prayer for 40 days unless she sees that she has become pure before that. Then she is to perform ghusl and pray. If she sees blood after 40 days, then most of the people of knowledge say that she does not leave the prayer after 40 days. This is the opinion of most of the fuqaha. Well, in 40 days, I mean, that's pretty generous, right? Because you're going through a lot as a woman. You're tired, you got a screaming newborn, you're not sleeping, you're almost delirious sometimes. So that's a mercy. Just like, oh, you're not even sleeping right, so maybe you won't even know what you're saying when you pray. You know, each baby is different, you know, in their sleeping patterns. It is the saying of Sufyan al-Thawri, Ibn al-Mubarak, Ash-Shafi, Ahmad, and Ishaq. It has been related that Al-Hasan al-Basri said, she leaves the prayer for 50 days if she does not see that she is pure. Ata bin Rabah and Ash-Shabi has been reported to say 60 days. 369? 3 months? Nifas is the childbirth bleeding. Nufasa is a woman with childbirth bleeding. There is no minimum specific period of nifas according to the consensus, and sometimes it does not even appear. In this case, the woman will start offering prayer after taking a bath. There is disagreement about its maximum period. As Imam Tirmidhi quoted, the preferred view is of 40 days. It is also supported by the mentioned hadith. Okay. Chapter 106. What has been related about a man going to all of his women with one ghusl. Anas narrated, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, would go around to his women with one ghusl. Sahih. He said, there is a narration on this topic from Abu Rafi. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Anas, that the Prophet, peace be upon him, would go around to his women with one ghusl, is Hasan Sahih hadith. This is the saying of more than one of the people of knowledge. Among them is Al-Hasan al-Basri, who said that there is no harm in repeating it before performing wudu. Muhammad bin Yusuf has reported from Sufyan, he said, from Abu Urwa, from Abu al-Khattab, from Anas. Abu Urwa is Mamar bin Rashid, and Abu al-Khattab is Qatada bin Di'ama. Abu Isa said, some of them narrated it from Muhammad bin Yusuf, from Sufyan, from Ibn Abu Urwa, from Abu al-Khattab, but this is a mistake. What is correct is from Abu Urwa. Comments. The Ummahs agree that taking a bath is not necessary for having sexual intercourse again, yet it definitely makes one more active and strong. The Prophet, peace be upon him, would do so after returning from journey or beginning a new turn. Otherwise, he would usually go to his wife, whose turn it used to be. Though following and setting the turn were not compulsory for him, yet he, peace be upon him, would take care of it greatly. Chapter 107. What has been related about the Junub person when he wants to repeat sexual relations should perform wudu. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri narrated, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, when one of you comes to his wife, then he wants to repeat it, let him perform wudu between them. Sahih. He said, there is something on this topic from Umar. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Abu Sa'id is Hasan Sahih hadith. This is the saying of Umar bin al-Khattab. More than one of the people of knowledge held this view. They said that when a man cohabitates with his wife, then he wants to repeat it, he should perform wudu before he repeats it. What's good is that it's like encouraging men to actually try for round 2, which is good. Abu al-Mutawakkil's name is Ali bin Dawood. Abu Sayyid al-Khudri's name is Sayyid bin Malik bin Sinan. Oh, okay. I'm going to put a little star next to that one because we hear his name a lot, but we don't always get to hear his other name. And then this one is important. Well, they're all important, rather, but put a little sticker on that. Comments. According to the majority of scholars, making ablution is desirable in the light of these narrations because it makes one more active. Kind of wakes you up, right? And like, hey, get your game in the game. Chapter 108. What has been related about when standing for the prayer, and one of you finds that he has to relieve himself, then let him relieve himself first. Hisham bin Urwa narrated from his father, Urwa, from Abdullah bin al-Arkam. He, Urwa, said, while standing for the prayer, he, Abdullah bin al-Arkam, took a man by the hand, leading him forward. He, Abdullah, was in front of the people, and he said, I heard Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, say, when standing for the prayer, and one of you finds that he has to relieve himself, then let him relieve himself first. Because if, like, sometimes I've had that where, like, you hold it, but if you think about it, you should use the restroom. You know, you gotta watch out. You don't want to have a bladder infection, and it distracts you if it gets too, like when you bend over in sujood and stuff. It's like you do ruku, you can feel your bladder pressing. It's quite awful. He said there are narrations on this topic from Aisha, Abu Huraira, Thawban, and Abu Umama. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Abdullah bin Al-Kam is a Hasan Sahih hadith. Similar to this has been reported by Malik bin Anas, Yahya bin Sa'id al-Qattan, and more than one of the Hufaz. From Hisham bin Urwa, from his father, from Abdullah bin al-Arkam. And Wahib and others reported it from Hisham bin Urwa, from his father, from a man from Abdullah bin al-Arkam. This is the saying of more than one of the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the Tabi'in. It is the view of Ahmad and Ishaq. They say that one is not to begin the prayer while he feels that he has to defecate or urinate. They say that if he begins the prayer and notices something of this nature, then he should not leave it if he is not distracted by it. Aha, yes. So distracted. So using the restroom. Some of the people of knowledge said that there is no harm in praying while one feels the need to defecate or urinate, as long as it does not distract him from the prayer. Exactly. Comments. Food and relieving oneself are a natural need, which is sometimes extremely severe and controls the heart and brains of human. In such a condition, offering prayer individually or with a congregation is incorrect. If this need is minor and does not affect the prayer, or the effect is minimal, then there is no harm in offering or continuing the prayer. Yeah, so minimal effect. So minimal effect. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah, we learned a lot. Malik bin Anas, Yahya bin Sa'id al-Qattan, Thawban, Abu Umama, Abu Huraira, Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her. Bam! We learned a lot.